Oh, sorry, miss. Building maintenance. Stop!
Mrs. Sawyer.
Yes, okay.
That's right. Listen to your mommy.
The movie kicks off in 2005 with Will Sawyer, who's leading an FBI hostage rescue team. Things take a bad turn when the suspect blows himself up, leaving Will seriously injured. As a result, part of his left leg has to be amputated below the knee. Fast forward to the present day, Will now wears a prosthetic leg and lives with his wife, Sarah, and their twin kids, Henry and Georgia, in an apartment inside Pearl.
Right?
Kidding me?
I
These are
know.
The tallest skyscraper in the world, located in Hong Kong. The massive 225-story building is even taller than the Burj Khalifa, and it's the brainchild of businessman Zhao Longji.
Achieve when we don't accept limitations.
Will has since started his own private security company, and he's at the Pearl for work. While Sarah asks him to fix her phone, which he does by simply turning it off and on again, Ben, one of Zhao's employees, shows up. Sarah and the kids head out for the day while Will and Ben take the elevator to a meeting with Zhao, security director Johnny, and insurance underwriter Mr. Pierce.
I know my company is small.
Will is there to inspect the building's fire and security systems, and he reports that everything checks out, though he still needs to take a look at the off-site facility. Zhao gives Will a tablet that only his face can unlock.
So,
Later, Zhao takes him to a room filled with floor-to-ceiling mirrors that reflect at all sorts of angles. Later, Will and Ben head to the off-site facility by boat. Just as they arrive, a criminal attacks Will, steals his bag, and stabs him. Meanwhile, back at the Pearl, a maintenance worker finds a wall breaking apart, revealing a hidden passage. Suddenly, hands grab him from the darkness and strangle him. The killer removes his gas mask, its coarse bow tie, a ruthless criminal. Ben helps Will bandage his wound. Luckily, before they left, Will had slipped Zhao's tablet into his jacket.
I gotta call Sarah.
Sarah calls Will, letting him know they're back at the Pearl because Henry got sick. Out of nowhere, Ben pulls a gun on Will, revealing that he's actually working with Course. He demands the tablet, but a fight breaks out, and Ben ends up accidentally shooting himself in the chest. With his dying breath, he tells Will that his family was never supposed to be inside the Pearl, and that he had intentionally gotten them out earlier. At the same time, Course and his crew set a massive fire on the 96th floor of the Pearl. Will sees the flames from outside. Before he can do anything, he's ambushed. He manages to escape through a window and climb down a ladder. But then Xia, one of Course's accomplices, shows up and zaps him with a stun gun. She uses his unconscious face to unlock the tablet and is about to finish him off when the police arrive, shooting down the criminals. The thief who had stolen Will's bag is killed. Xia flees in a van, while Will grabs a motorcycle and races toward the Pearl. Meanwhile, Xia and her team storm the off-site facility, killing the staff. With the tablet in their hands, they disable the fire safety systems in the Pearl. Inside the skyscraper, 2 security guards arrive to escort Sarah and the kids to the top floor. But before they can leave, fire erupts in the elevator shaft, leading to a massive explosion. The police, led by Inspector Wu, now believe Will is behind the fire and launch a manhunt for him. Elsewhere, Xiao's hacker tells her that they now have full control of the tablet and the building's mainframe.
So?
Without needing Will's face anymore, she kills the hacker. Meanwhile, Johnny tells Zhao they need to evacuate, and Zhao agrees. He knows that Course started the fire and that he isn't trying to kill him, at least not yet. Course wants something Zhao has, a flash drive. Will, dodging the police, climbs up the side of a massive construction crane and uses it to break into the burning building. At the same time, Johnny finds out their helicopter pilot is actually an imposter. That's when Mr. Pierce turns on Zhao, revealing that he, too, works for Course. Soon after, Course and his goons arrive and kill Zhao's security team. Zhao asks why they don't just kill him and take the flash drive. Kor smirks and says he plans to take both Zhao and the drive with him in the helicopter, leaving the pearl to burn to the ground. But before they can escape, a Johnny fights back, shooting the pilot, causing the helicopter to crash into the building. Zhao manages to escape into the penthouse and seals the doors before Kors can get to him. Xiao informs Kors that the tablet won't unlock the penthouse,
Zhao must have isolated that system.
and Will and his family are still inside the pearl. Pierce suggests they go after Will, but Kors has other ideas. He already knows what Will is after. Meanwhile, Sarah and the kids are crossing a bridge inside the building when Pierce appears, pulls out a gun, and grabs Sarah. Thinking fast, Sarah pulls a pair of scissors from her pocket, tells the kids to run, and then stabs Pierce in the leg. They struggle, and during the fight, a metal structure collapses, damaging the bridge. Burning debris falls, separating Henry and Georgia. Henry yells for Georgia to head toward a waterfall. Pierce, now back on his feet, attacks Sarah again. Just in time, Will arrives and throws him off the bridge. He then places a wooden plank over the gap, so Sarah can cross to get Henry. As she carries Henry on her back, she jumps to Will at the last second, just before the plank crashes down into the flames. To escape, they use a special elevator that runs on electromagnetic induction. Will cuts the cable, and once they pass the fire line, the magnets re-engage. Sarah activates the emergency brakes, and they manage to escape the burning building, where they meet Inspector Wu. Meanwhile, Georgia is confronted by two of Kors's men. She runs toward the waterfall as they chase her.
Mental shit.
Will arrives just in time, taking down the goons before his final showdown with Kors. They're standing outside the penthouse doors. Will explains that the doors can only be opened from the inside or if the fire alarm on that level goes off. But that's not an option. Kors already shut the whole system down. Kors threatens to throw Georgia off the roof unless Will hands over whatever Zhao has hidden behind those doors. They drag Georgia with them, leaving Will behind. As Will struggles to get up, he sees a news report confirming that Sarah and Henry are safe. Meanwhile, Sarah tells Inspector Wu about the man she saw inside the pearl. The police pull up some images, and she immediately recognizes Kors. They wonder why he would trap himself in a burning building with no escape route. Then, they notice that one of Kors's men had a container labeled sarin. Looking it up, they realize it's a type of parachute. Sarah pieces it together. They must be planning to jump off the building and land somewhere nearby. The panel that controls the doors is hidden behind the turbines. Will smashes a window, carefully climbs along the outside of the building, and abseils down to reach them. Once inside, he cuts a wire, triggering the doors to open. Climbing back up, he wedges his prosthetic leg in the doorway to prevent it from shutting again. As Will steps into the penthouse, Zhao points a gun at him. Without missing a beat, Will grabs Zhao's arm, knocks him down, and tells him they need to talk. Zhao explains that Kors Bota is involved in extortion for 3 major crime syndicates. When Zhao started building the pearl, Kors came to him demanding protection money. Zhao paid up, but he secretly installed tracking software in the wire transfers, collecting data on the syndicates. When they found out, they ordered Kors to fix the situation or they'd take him out. Kors needs the original files to erase any trace of their involvement. If Zhao dies, the data gets sent to law enforcement. That's why Kors started the fire. He knew Zhao would grab the flash drive and try to escape. Will suggests they give Kors what he wants, but Zhao warns that Kors will kill them anyway. Will insists that saving Georgia is his priority and convinces Zhao to help him. On the roof, Kors and his men hold Georgia captive. Will and Zhao step forward, with Zhao pretending his hands are tied with duct tape. Kors demands the flash drive and tells one of his men to hand over a parachute. Zhao suddenly rips free from the tape, grabs the drive, and demands a parachute for himself. He throws the drive across the floor, and at that moment, Will yells for Georgia to run. He pulls a hidden sword from under his shirt and slashes one of the henchmen. Zhao starts shooting, and the room's high-tech mirrors spring up, creating endless reflections that confuse Kors's men. A chaotic fight breaks out, with the criminals struggling to tell what's real from what's a reflection. Will spots the flash drive, but before a thug can shoot him, Zhao takes him out. Meanwhile, Wu and the police figure out the likely parachute landing zone and prepare to intercept. Inside a police car, Sarah notices Xia aiming at an officer. She reacts fast, slamming Xia into the car door. They struggle, and Sarah honks the car horn, drawing the attention of nearby cops. As Xia starts choking her, an officer appears with a gun, forcing Xia to back off. Sarah knocks her out cold and grabs the tablet Xia left behind. Back on the roof, Will faces off with Kors, who has Georgia in his grasp. Kors threatens to drop both a grenade and Georgia if Will doesn't hand over the drive. But Kors is looking at a reflection. Will is actually behind him. Will seizes the moment, kicks Kors off the edge, and grabs Georgia just in time. Sarah uses the tablet to reboot the building's control systems. The fire safety measures kick in, sprinklers start spraying, and the flames are finally extinguished. A rescue helicopter arrives, picking up Will, Georgia, and Zhao. As they descend to safety, Will hands Zhao the flash drive. The Sawyer family reunites, and Inspector Wu officially clears Will of any wrongdoing. Zhao announces his plans to rebuild the Pearl, determined to bring it back stronger than ever. That's the story.